What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my own new review of Love and Marriage Detroit. Let's get into it. We are back with Anthony crying like a child, having a temper tantrum because he don't feel the support of not going to Atlanta and pursue his career and blah blah blah. I'm just like, okay. Did he pull the grandma card because his grandma was there for him? It reminded me of my husband, but for me, Anthony is using it as I didn't get the support from my in laws to say that it was okay for me to leave my family behind to go and pursue my career. That's what I heard, okay? Latoya understands how he feels, but she knows that he held some resentment to her because of what happened. He keeps on saying he doesn't resent her, he feels hurt. Anthony, I need for you to own that you do resent your wife. You do. Because you bring up certain comments, bring up certain things that you can't do, that Latoya said you got to do. And just like how you acted in the beginning of the season, the things you don't get to do, you want for someone else to be able to do. And I feel like you need to just own up to it. You keep bringing up Atlanta as a sore subject because you know it's going to have a very awkward conversation. Like, please. And she had to remind you, you did not have to say it as if it's a sore subject for us to talk about Atlanta. That's not the issue. The issue is the decision you made to go to Atlanta. That's the problem. You need to be honest with yourself that you did not have a full conversation with your wife about it. You decided to leave, hoping she'll be happy, but you wasn't considering what she had to deal with. She was by herself in Detroit, dealing with her kids, dealing with problems in their schools, a demanding job. It was around COVID. Because obviously you avoided that. You ignored that. But when she decided to tell you, if you don't bring your ass back home, we're going to have a problem, you've been not holding out, you've been resenting her for that. Resenting her that she had to remind you, you're not by yourself. You have a family here. If you want to save it, get your ass back here. So the issue is still an issue. You guys have not gotten over it. And Anthony doesn't want to own up he made a selfish decision. That's all I got. For real. And we're moving on from that. Kobe. Kobe has a friend named Chelsea to come over to discuss some business. Russell is planning a surprise party for Kobe. So he's making sure that Chelsea doesn't put out any hints. He wants her to be quiet about it because it is a surprise. All right. Kobe has known Chelsea for 10 years. That's her partner in crime. That's her ace boon coon. And she has such a good time. So Kobe is an influencer. She is putting some work in for other influencers. And now she wants to collaborate with a Detroit brand called Harper Ray, a black woman owned brand. And she has personal history with the owner of the brand. So she reached out to her. Apparently, Christina reached out to her first, wants to do a collaboration, but wants to know if Kobe wouldn't mind coming on to the same thing because Kobe and Christina are kind of doing the exact same thing, but there isn't no wrong way or right way of coming together as influencers. You guys are doing the exact same thing. But she has reached out to Christina but hasn't gotten a response. So she's confused as to what are they doing when there should be no confusion. I reached out to a brand to collaborate. They said you were already a part of it, so wanted to know if we should all collaborate together. Where's the confusion? I don't know. So Christina still has not seen Brandon since the wine event, and I want to know how long has it been since the wine event? Has it been a week? Has it been 2 weeks? You mean tell me you've been away from your husband for more than a few days and he hasn't called, he hasn't done anything? Yeah, I got time for the silent treatment. Don't do that to me. I don't like it at all. Then they have a counseling session, pretty much a counseling session, like I said, with marriage mentors, but not actual marriage counselors, not an actual married couple who are licensed therapists who can help you navigate your marriage. Pretty much giving church members. That's what it's giving. And she's not even sure that he's going to show up for the meeting. Now, when he shows up like he's a bald headed stepchild who just got scolded and whooped and he don't want to say nothing. That's exactly how he looks, like a pitiful little boy. He said he hates fighting with his wife. He just wants peace. But I'm like, you look disheveled and annoyed, like you do not want to be there. If you didn't want to be there, I would have told you, you ain't gotta come. I'll get help for myself. You ain't gotta come over here. So where should we start? Let's start from the beginning. Okay, they had a session before and they connected from that session, but they have not connected even more. It's been worse. Okay, the way that he told the story, that a friend, he said this guy or this man wanted him to be out in the clubs more because that's how he was. He was out in the clubs, he was making himself relevant and known. And I'm just like, why are you saying a man, a guy, as if this guy came out of nowhere to discuss what you've been feeling? You can't say my friend, my boy, that I allowed to come to my defense to go at my wife because my wife won't allow me to cheat on her in peace. That's what I got. Because he was making it as if he's the victim. And you're not a victim, sir. Not at all. By no means necessary, okay? Please tell the story correctly, okay? So, from Christina's perspective of the way he feels, she feels like his friends always place her as to blame as to why he's not moving forward in his career. She's holding him back, and it's starting to sound like resentment. You keep thinking it that I don't let go of the reins. You keep thinking I'm holding you back from you reaching full potential. It's going to come off as resentment. It is. And if you're having a thought process of you would be so further along in your career if you weren't married, I can't stop you. Because if you're going to make it seem as if you should never gotten married, then how did you reach out to Christina for her number? How did you fall in love with her? How did you convince her to move to Detroit 4 days before the wedding if you did not want to marry her? But you want to act like you don't want to be married. Make it make sense to me. So there was a conversation about him saying he was done with this marriage. Of course, Brandon can't own up to the fact that he said that because he felt like, in his mind, he said that to respond to what she said. No, in actuality, Brandon, you asked her, do she still wants to be with you? Because you want to know, does she want to be with you because she loves you, or does she like the idea of marriage? That's what you asked her. So wants to hold her accountable that she said something so that way it could be he responded to it because he cannot own up to the things he said without blaming someone else. Like own up to your shit though, bruh. It is coming across tit for tat because Brandon is a child. Brandon can't take accountability and responsibility for the part that he played in. Brandon apologized for being selfish, for putting his wants and desires over hers. He didn't find it an issue for allowing his friend to defend him because that's what he wanted. It was about him. It was about his feelings. He didn't think about Christina's feelings. And I think I skipped over, but Christina says she didn't feel protected. She felt unsafe. And the fact that your wife of 11 years is feeling unsafe, unprotected, is feeling belittled, and you're not working your issues to not make her feel like that is telling to me. So he is apologizing. She's holding him to that. But I need more. I need action than you just saying it. Because I feel like he's setting her up to automatically be about my man when it comes down to it. Him apologizing is fine, but I feel like he's apologized before, but still has not made any changes. But I'm going to move on. We got Latoya. They are headed to church. Her father is a bishop. Her mom is a pastor. Church is a tradition in the Thompson household. They attend church every Sunday. I love it. So wondering if Anthony's going to have a conversation with her father about how he felt. He will. So we get to the service. It sounded like it was a beautiful message. And he will talk to her father after church. And in a nutshell, he felt like he wasn't supported. He felt like he got bashed because of the decision that he made. The whole deadbeat dad comment came out. And I feel like with Anthony taking the initiative to go out to Atlanta without talking to his wife about it, he did feel like if I have the support of her father, who's a man, he would understand where I'm coming from, but that's not what he did. He can understand that you had this dream but he was also looking at his daughter. And his main concern was looking at his grandson, little Anthony, because he felt like Anthony needed his father at this very critical time. His presence was needed on a consistent basis because his grandson was having difficult times in school. He was singled out, the racism. He would pick his grandson up from school and be in tears. So, right now, in this time, it's best for your kids to stay stable, which means you need to be in one place for a little bit because your presence, having them see you, having you be around them is crucial right now. It's so vital for you to be around your kids. So the fact that, the bishop wasn't tearing down that Anthony had a dream, but right now you might want to put that dream to the side and focus on your kids. Your kids need you. You need to be here for them. And when it came down to the deadbeat dad comment, he does apologize for that. He can't take away how Anthony feels, how he felt. And he does believe that this dream that you wanted to have, I think it's going to come back when you and Latoya are in a much better place. You're on a much better space with one another. You're on the same page. Okay? And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the conversation between Anthony and his father-in-law because it was him seeing both sides. It was him seeing his wants for his grandson and everything. He wasn't saying, yeah, you did that and da-da-da-da. He was listening for both of them, and I enjoyed that. Because it would have been a much better outcome for you, Anthony, had you just conversated with your wife about Atlanta. It would have been a much more of a much more of a blessed feeling that you are able to do this. But of course, like he said, that time is going to come. It's not right now. Don't know when, but it's coming. So then we got Kobe. It was a small scene of Kobe working on different projects while waiting on Christina to reply back to her about the collaboration with Harper Ray. Moving on from that. Russell is still thinking about investing in a gym. And the gym he's thinking about, he actually goes to the gym, because he does not have the full understanding of what it means to run a gym and own a gym. So he's meeting up with the part owner of the gym, who's had about 10 years of experience. So he's seeing the business side of things. You really don't know the fundamentals of how to run a gym? Okay. But the owner pretty much gave him the rundown of what to expect. Don't think that you can just buy a gym and you can just fill it out, have tons of members coming in, have tons of people coming in working out, and you can make a profit. He said he didn't see his piece of a profit until about 2 to 3 years after buying the gym. And Russell is confident that it will not take him that long to see a profit, but you never know. You got to monitor how many members you signed up, monitor how many people come into your gym every week, every 2 weeks, every month, once a month, twice a month. Make sure you're understanding the foot traffic that comes inside the gym. And Russell is hoping that he doesn't have too much on his plate, though, because he's already stretched thin. He got his family, he got his divinity school, and he is a CEO of a company, but I don't know what company that is. Is that with the National Army Guard? Let me know. So now he has to talk to Kobe because he is already on board with buying the gym and doing divinity school, but knowing how Kobe isn't fully supporting the idea just yet, because she did find out at the last minute. So moving on from that, Anthony is inviting all the couples to a skating rink, and if you're from Detroit, you should know how to skate. So, Anthony takes him to the hood, where pretty much the best hot spots are, the best food, the best places to go. And Christina is not from Detroit, but Brandon is being so snooty and uppity about how I don't even know where I'm at. I gotta make sure I hold my lady's hand so she doesn't get lost. I'm just like, please. Y'all want to act like y'all grew up with a silver spoon in y'all mouth. Miss me. Y'all had some rough times too. And when you go through rough times while growing up, you find fun things in the hood. You find hot spots in the hood. Y'all can miss me with that. Brandon hasn't skated in a very long time, and we can see that. Kobe came by herself, wondered where is Russell, because she can't seem to get a hold of him these days. He be in his own little world, having back-to-back meetings that she's not aware of. So, watching Brandon and Anthony struggle to get on these skates, Russell tells Colby that he is 85% sold on buying the gym, which is something that Colby's not aware of. You told me you were thinking about buying a gym. That's what you told me. You told me that we were thinking of buying a gym. You didn't tell me that you were having a meeting to the point where you're thinking about buying it. So he doesn't understand why she needed to be included in the walkthrough, because I need to see what the place looks like. You want me to learn how to run the day-to-day operations? I'm going to need to see what the place looks like. Like, Russell, these are not hard questions. These are not hard suggestions. These is not a hard task for you to do in order for you to inform your wife on what you're doing. This is not hard. Not hard. Because you're trying to be condescending by saying, so I have to inform about every meeting that I have. If it's about a meeting that is required of me to be involved, of me to say the yes, because obviously it's given you guys have joint accounts with both you guys' names on it, but you cannot make a big purchase without the other party's consent. That's what it's giving to me. Because you're operating in the same mindset, Russell, that you can just go and make decisions without including her. She has to just deal with it. That's not what she's doing. Because I don't think taking her to a walkthrough wasn't like it wouldn't have been a bad thing. Because obviously you're trying to make it seem as if she needs to cut her hours of being a content creator short so she could be full and available to run the gym. That's exactly what it is. Okay? Because Colby has no problem with sharing what she got in her calendar, keeping him informed about things, but you can't do the same thing with your wife. She said, please let me know what's going on next time. Colby is like right at her breaking point with this man. Like, please, you gotta let me know these things, okay? And yep, I already said it before. He's pretty much trying to have her cut her time of being a content creator in half so she can be available to focus on the gym. And this bullshit ass statement he said about how it's my goal to cast a vision, it's your goal to implement the vision, which means I cannot do this without you, but I don't want to include you on it. I just need you to say yes, and I don't want to explain why you should say yes. You just need to just do it, which is not cool. Not cool whatsoever. It's like you're trying to take away her voice and her power from her, but you still need her. You still need her for it. Because if you are not available to run the day-to-day operations, you figure she ain't got no time. I mean, she ain't got nothing to do. She can go ahead and do it. No. I want Colby to stick to her guns. I haven't met this man that you're thinking about buying a gym from. And if it's about money and I'm involved, yes, I need to be present, okay? So, y'all miss me with that. Miss me. Like, she's not asking for nothing too hard. All she's asking for is to include her. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Like, fine. So Anthony's official man's movement is coming up. He says it's not about blaming women, talking about women, blaming the white man. I'm just like, Anthony, please. That's exactly what you guys have been doing since the season started, is blame the women. Blame the women for not allowing for you to do what you want to do to them. Okay? Then they talk about the showcase. He wants to put his new artist on stage and also come up with a prize at the end of the showcase. Russell made a funny joke. Listen, you got a showcase, right? Please make sure your wife is familiar with everybody. She's familiar with all the artists, so she don't have to hide from her. Good idea, good joke. Okay, so the ladies sit around talking. Christina apologized for not reaching back out to Christina. No, I'm sorry. Christina apologized to Colby for not reaching back out. She disconnected from everybody. She was not in a good headspace. Colby understood, but Colby wished that maybe you would have replied back with that understanding, and maybe Colby would have backed off. But Colby's initial conversation was about the show, the collaboration with Harper Ray. Now, I had to rewind more than once so I can get a full understanding as to what was the issue to me. Because the way that it was broken down, it was kind of like Colby and Christina were hearing two different versions of a collaboration. Christina was already in the works of working with Harper Ray, but did not get the full understanding as to what kind of content they were going to be doing and why is Colby getting involved. Then Colby was under the impression that Christina would not have a problem with it because Christina has been talking about putting a collaboration in for her and Colby to do. So I don't know. But Christina was being passive aggressive, in my opinion, about not just being honest with saying she don't want to work with Colby. She kept on repeating the same thing over and over again. And Colby just wanted an understanding. Girl, if you were not aware that I was a part of it, you could have hit me up and said, girl, you're a part of it too. Well, I don't want to rock what you got going on, but I want to work with Harper Ray by myself. And maybe later on we could set up something. There was nothing wrong with that because I feel like Colby just said it. I am also about collaboration. I'm not about getting involved in things to make it seem as if I'm selfish. There's always room for everybody. And I would have just understood had you just picked up the phone and called me. Like, that's what it was. So this whole thing was a lot for me to understand. Latoya was in the background, understanding why Colby was upset. She was passionate because all she wanted was a conversation. All she wanted was communication, okay? Christina is not getting power in her relationship, so maybe she figures she'll get power in this influencer situation with Harper Ray. But I don't want Christina to allow what Brandon has put in her head for her to ruin her friendship with Colby. I don't want her to do that, but I feel like she's already about to do that. And it came down to the men getting involved, and Brandon wants to use this opportunity to project his issues with Colby because she aired him out about him not being honest with his wife by saying there was another situation with a makeup artist, and Russell and Colby could peep how he's trying to egg something on because Russell came in with, you guys are friends. There shouldn't be an issue that you guys cannot talk things out and work it out. Christina agreed, but she became completely silent when Brandon came in to defend her because she's expressed to Brandon he does not defend her, but this moment he decides to make it about himself. And again, super happy that Russell and Colby caught it because he came with a lame ass nickname for Colby, calling her a Colby cat, like a copycat. I'm just like, Brandon, you are a bitch made ass man with your man bun. Like, that's so fucking man, that's so bitch made for real. Because the fact that he brought up a situation that wasn't even that deep, but he did say it for a purpose because he could not say anything else that's going to add on to Colby being this Colby cat is crazy to me. Like, you're not even man enough to admit that you got a problem with Colby. You want to disguise it by it's Christina. You've had an issue with it from the beginning. You being such a bitch. I'm sorry. Brandon was on island by himself because she wasn't saying much, but I don't know if Christina is taking this one moment of him defending her as a good sign, but I'm done with him because it's not cool. I did like that Latoya say we're not about to do this because the lame name calling was not necessary. And that was pretty much the end of the episode. Russell wanted to stop Brandon from talking to his wife like that because that's what Russell is going to do. Russell has no problem with defending his wife. He has no problem with calling out what Brandon did, even though he took too long. But either way, he ain't got time for this. In the next episode, he's talking about if I wasn't saved, I'll beat your ass. I'll break every bone in your fucking body. I was like, please, Russell, do it. Because that was crazy. And it's already getting divided. Christina's going to stick by her man, which is exactly what Brandon wanted her to do. Because in this moment, the way he's driving a wedge between Christina and Colby, knowing that Christina is trying to fight for her marriage, she is trying to stay 10 toes down, she is going to overlook that Brandon could be trying to input ideas in her head that she has to watch Colby, check Colby, it's gonna be in the guise of her sticking beside him on his bullshit and her not looking into her own thoughts about why are you doing this. Like in the beginning, he's always making it. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all because it was just too much for me. But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video, and I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.